Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Donna. And for those of you who are not, thank you so much for continuing to come back to my channel and support me. And I just love you guys so much. And I appreciate every single one of you for clicking on my video today. I know that you don't have to, so it warms my heart so very much that you do. Today is my next installment in my palette roulette series, in which I use a palette once a week. I pick a palette and then I use that palette all week long and give you my thoughts on that palette at the end of the week and choose another one. Today, the palette that we're discussing is my Smashbox Cabana Cover Shot palette. And yeah, let's jump into it. So, sorry for the sweatshirt. Again, what you don't know is I am fully done up in my pajamas. I wish I could show you guys my pajama pants because I got them. Can you see them? No. Maybe. A little bit. They're from Disneyland. They have all the little Disney attractions on them and little Mickey Mouse heads everywhere. And I absolutely love them. And of course I am in a sweatshirt because again it is snowing outside and I'm just trying to keep warm. Me and this 112-year-old home don't get along very well. The windows are not insulated. The walls are barely insulated, I'm sure. And yeah, it's cold in here. So, and my workspace in here is a fishbowl. It is surrounded by windows that, as I may have mentioned a minute ago, are not insulated. They're definitely single pane. But that's okay because they're awesome windows, but they're cold. Today we're going to discuss the Smashbox Cabana Cover Shot palette. So the first thing I'd like to say about this palette is I did receive it in an eBay purchase that I made right after I started getting into this beauty scene. I was trying to accumulate, you know, beauty products quickly and decided to purchase a couple of like big like packs, surprise packs, I guess you might call them, mystery boxes you might call them, on eBay. I got lucky because I didn't get anything like, you know, some mystery box people show you that they get like toenail clippings and whatnot. Everything I did receive was beauty and the skincare, but I did purchase only twice, and one of those purchases was with this guy who said that for, you know, such and such amount of money you get 7 full-size items including a full-size palette. This was the palette that I got, and yes, I guess it's a full-size palette, but it is a full-size mini palette. And I also got like a not for resale sample size of a Bobbi Brown foundation that was already bad when I received that box. So like, you know, people, you get scammed. You do. And we all know this. But the other purchase I made, I got a lot of items for a relatively inexpensive price. The Swamp, I have a Swamp Queen palette, the Tarte Swamp Queen palette that was in collaboration with Bunny. I got in that one, but I was also supposed to get like a flat iron that never came. So it is what it is. Anyways, from what I understand, you cannot purchase, or could not at the time that this released, you could not purchase it on its own. It came in a like pack with a mascara and I think an eyeliner, and I also think maybe something else I can't remember. And then of course their 24-hour stay on, always on, always on. Is that what it's called? Eye primer, which I love, but this just came in my box. So I was a little aggravated because this is listed, you know, he said a full-size palette. I was expecting a full-size palette, and this is what I received. It is a full-size, but it is definitely a mini. This is what the palette looks like. There's a mirror there. Sorry for blinding you guys. It is 0.21 ounces of product, which means each one of these pans is approximately 0.03 ounces, a little bit less. There are 8 pans of shadow in here. So you're definitely not getting a full-size version of a palette with this. Also, this color scheme is atrocious. Like, I don't know why anybody would think that this is an amazing color scheme, if I'm being honest. Those colors separately in a palette would work, but all together, you can't really, they don't function very well together at all. And the reason why I say that is because I did try to use this palette as often as I could this week and ended up pulling other palettes out of my collection to use instead on a day-to-day basis, because I tried this 3 days in a row. One day I had to scrub off 2 separate looks and then finally finished off with one, and I do have pictures of those that I will put in here for you guys. It was just super disheartening. Also, it is an all, like, for the most part, brown palette that is just 50 shades of brown in there, for real. I do have it on my eyes today. I am not unimpressed with the eye look I created today. I have this pink down here on my lower lash line. This shade here is my lid color. This is my, like, deepening up the crease in my outer V color. And then this one is my upper area into the brow bone color. I did put this color into my brow bone, but you can't even tell that there's a color there. That was the other thing for me, is this doesn't have really a great brow bone shade. So since we're talking about shades, let's go through the colors. I do have them all swatched out on this one hand, so I will get all close-up-y for you. This first shade up here is called Vanilla. It barely shows up, probably why it's called Vanilla. It is a good setting shade, not a good shade for anything else. It just does not appear on your skin at all. This shade here is called Nude. It is a color that I use often as a transition shade, and pretty much that's it. That's all I could really do with that. This shade here is called Sumatra. It is a really nice, like, Sumatra-y roasted, like, color. It definitely reminds me of a coffee bean, so that is fitting. This one here is called Optics. It is a kind of a, like, brassy, maybe not brassy, maybe more like a patina. I don't know. It's a shimmer, but it is not the most beautiful shimmer. It's kind of got like this olive tint to it, but it wants to be brown. It's weird. It's just very weird. The next shade here is called Peacock. It is a blue, just a really light blue teal-ish color. I would describe it as more of a baby blue. It is definitely a shimmery baby blue color. And this one here is called Sunlight, I think. Yes. This one here is called Sunlight. It is a shimmery, like, mango color or peach color. This gold here is called Sunrise. It is just a shimmer gold color. And this last pink down here is called Papaya. It is a matte and it is a pink. It does appear to have a bit of like a glitter in it, but that glitter doesn't show up anywhere in your eye look if you're looking for glitter. That's definitely not going to be the glitter color for you. So today this is the color that is on my my lower lash line. It is a pretty pink color, but it just it's not pigmented enough to stand on its own. And that shade in the palette is really kind of, it's really a grippy shade. It's got a lot of, feels like it's got a lot of texture to it, but once you put it on the eye, it is a beautiful matte. It does blend out very nicely. There's just not a whole lot of pigmentation to it. When I say there's not a lot of pigmentation to that color, I actually mean to speak for almost the entirety of the palette. None of these shades blended out with a whole lot of pigmentation in any eye look I performed over this last week. I got the most pigmentation out of that Optic shade that I am wearing on my lid today. And I went in that with a wet brush twice to come up with the pigmentation that I have for it. That dark brown called Sumatra is a really nice dark brown for deepening up the eye look, deepening up the crease, deepening up the outer corner, but it just really shows up like a gross brown shade anywhere but on top of another shade. So you can't use it on its own, really. I just don't feel like this shadow palette is... I was disheartened to have it come up in my palette roulette. We all know this. We all saw my reaction. But this color scheme is just not me. I love color. I love a lot of color. And no amount of single shadows could I bring from my single shadow set to make this palette function better for me. There was 2 eye looks, this one included, that I really, really enjoyed when I made this, when I used this palette. And the one eye look that you guys will see a picture of that isn't this one, I actually used one of my other small mini palettes to help create that and brought in some purples. They really didn't look purple at the end because just the browns in this palette just kind of overwhelmed it. When I say that I am not doing this series as a declutter series, I know that the expectation is not that I'm going to end up the week knowing whether I'm going to get rid of a palette or not, but this one will be leaving my collection. I can never see me using it again. After using it this week, I know that I won't pick it up. It is incredibly powdery, even going in just with my finger to swatch this. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's an incredible amount of fallout in that shade just from me going in and putting my finger in it to swatch it. Then you go to put it on your eye and it does the same thing. While swatching for this video on my hand, I had to wipe my sweatshirt off 3 times because of the fallout from the swatches on my hands. They swatch so well that you would think that they would appear beautifully on the eye, but they just don't translate well onto your eye. Not as good as they do on your skin in a swatch. And we know this to be true with a lot of different shades, which is why I never base my opinion of an eyeshadow palette on the swatches that I see. Because you never, ever can really tell by a swatch whether it's going to perform well on the eye. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. I cannot tell you how excited I am to pick another palette. I hope it's one I'm going to love. So for those of you not in the know, the Palette Roulette series that I do here was inspired by Dani. Her channel name is Danibo, and all of her information is linked down in my drop down box. She uses her Palette a Week series as a declutter series. I don't really do that with mine. I just want to find use in my palettes, and you guys will see, I think this week I am uploading a palette collection video that will show you all of the palettes in my collection and just how many of those palettes have never been touched. And that was the whole reason for starting this series on my channel. I am just looking to get some use out of my palettes. She has an iPhone. She uses an app that she not purchased, maybe got for free on the Apple Store for the iOS system. I also use an app, but I have a Samsung Note 9 Plus. So my app is called the Decide Now app, and it is in the App Store. This is what it looks like. Turn my ring around. This is what it looks like. For those of you interested in doing this yourself, you can find any kind of like Wheel of Fortune app on any of the app stores that you might have, depending on what kind of phone that you have. Mine is titled Palette a Week. I'm accidentally touching it. Mine is titled Palette a Week, inspired by Danibo, and I just used this and put all of my palettes into this palette, this wheel. And then to pick a palette, you just, okay. spin the wheel. Typically you just have to hit the wheel and it'll start spinning. And I gave it a good spin today, and it has come up with the Juvia's Place Tribe palette. I don't know if you guys, have you guys seen this yet? I think I hauled it yesterday in yesterday's video. Let me go get that palette for you. I am really super excited to use this palette. I have used it once since I purchased it, but it's really a very new palette to me. So just one second. Okay guys, this is the Tribe palette by Juvia's Place. This is what the external of the packaging looks like. I just love Juvia's Place. I love their packaging. The artwork on the packaging is amazing. The one thing that I wish that they would change is a mirror in here, but I know that the reason why their palettes are so inexpensive is because of the no frills packaging, the no mirror, the no, you know, whatever. They do have the names on the shadows though, so that's impressive for a brand that doesn't charge very much. And their palette size, their pan size is really, really big. So this is the Tribe palette. I love the shade here. It's actually kind of a olive green tone. I just love this palette. Green is my favorite color, so I'm super excited to use this palette this week. I hope that you guys liked this video, and I hope that you are considering giving it a big thumbs up. I upload one of these once a week on Mondays where I discuss the palette that I used before and I pick a new palette. The next week we'll do the same thing. This one will be what I talk about. I hope that you guys are considering subscribing to my channel. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and come see me next Monday for a recap on this palette. I also just hope that you liked me enough that you're considering subscribing because you want to see more of me. I would love to catch y'all in the comments section. Please drop some comments down there. I am still pretty active in my comments section. I love having conversation with you all. And until next time, bye guys.